All right.
Morning.
Good morning. So I wanted to jump on here and start introducing me and Heather. I'm Melissa. This is Heather, Frugal Mama. We are coming together because we want to share our story and also share our life and our skills and, yeah, motherhood in this messy, beautiful journey. So, Heather, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
To motherhood. I am Heather. I am Frugal Mama. I have a group on Facebook. Now over 450. I can't believe it. We're celebrating 1 year and we are whooping it up for our 1 year anniversary. We have games and giveaways, and we just announced this week that we have a travel voucher giveaway. So that's pretty exciting news.
It's super exciting. Super exciting because we're doing some research. Do you want to share anything else?
That's me in a nutshell at the moment.
Sounds good. Well, I'm Melissa. We both homeschool. We I have six kids together. Only two at home right now currently that I'm homeschooling. Um, yeah, and I just want to share our adventures and see where this takes us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and this week, so we both do interest-led homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that we just follow our children's interest and we pour into whatever subject, whatever materials, whatever that looks like in the moment, that day, that week. And I know for me, I'm not sure about you, but we also take anything that Josh and I are looking at for that week. So this week is we are planning a road trip to go to Yellowstone. And so that
Oh, fun.
takes coordinating. That takes,
Hmm.
so it's not, the kids have to understand, okay, we're not talking about going to a hotel tonight. We have to plan things out. And they're looking at maps, we're looking at timing things out so that, we're not driving all day long, but we're able to enjoy each day as we go. And then also there's geography in that because they're looking at a map with me and we're mapping things out. You can't go, directly over a mountain. You have to go this way and that way. And so there's so much that life can give you for a curriculum.
It's so true. And yeah, no, we definitely are the same way. That's super exciting. You're going to Yellowstone though. That is one of my next goals. But I do agree with you. So like even in little day things, that's a huge one because you have to really plan that. But even like going to the store and going grocery shopping and comparing prices and looking, having them weigh things, have them read do you know where the mayonnaise is and figuring out what aisle that is. There's so much in life.
Yeah.
In life that we learn every single day. And the biggest thing for me is when people are like, oh, do you stop schooling for summer? I'm like, no, because you don't stop learning.
Not on a
You don't
Saturday,
stop
not on a
learning.
summer day. It just keeps going. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. And I love it. I love it. And I know some people been confused when I say like unschooling because, and I never took it this way. And I was like, oh, that's a different perspective. That I had a couple people actually thought that meant you didn't go to, like, you didn't do anything with school related. It's like you weren't learning. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You actually, if you think about it, even as adults, you continue to learn every single day.
Yeah.
You just run with it more and you guide them more and you help them learn how to research and find that knowledge and what they want to learn about.
Hmm. Yeah, and for us, we don't use worksheets. Sometimes my kids will make their own worksheets or make their own test, but
That's funny.
we don't orchestrate that or buy
Right.
curriculum. We are all the time, I don't know any parents that aren't all the time buying books and toys and you know, and I think for us, one of the benefits of homeschool is we actually get the time to use those and play with them and, dive deeper into what was just a birthday gift or a Christmas gift. And we get to not just play with it on the weekend, but use what we have. And I think that that's really important.
It is. It is. I agree with you on that. It's really good just to dive deeper and just run with it. Like, oh, okay, so maybe yesterday they were like, hey, tomorrow I want to go, I don't know, on a hike and do this, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, but look at the butterflies. How does that work? How do they become caterpillars to butterflies? And you run with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that we're able to just do that and really, follow their interests. It just sparks so much curiosity and love.
Yeah, it's like one question leads to another, and you never know what's going to come. Like, so
Yeah.
I've been an instructor, I've been a classroom leader, so I've had a lot of school title roles, and I would have to write curriculum for those. And I remember when we started unschooling, and I was like, oh my goodness, if I had to write this curriculum, I would never dream of all these things. It would seem crazy to write all this down for a curriculum. And somehow
Well,
it happens.
and it boxes it in.
Hmm.
Like you put a box around what you're doing and what your goals are instead of not having it box in, getting out of the box and be able to look at everything as this big, huge, whole beautiful thing instead of just these narrow pathways,
Yeah.
so it really opens up the whole world.
I've loved unschooling, and I think that doing Frugal Mama community, it balances it so well because I'm constantly getting ideas from others who are wanting to work remote, who are wanting that flexible schedule and money and time with their family, and it meshes it so well. And it's funny, I've had my kids say, like, don't you ever get tired of talking about budget? And then, like, I painted a bigger picture and I'm like, all businesses, all governments, every person, every family, we all have budgets. And that's when like the
Hmm.
light bulb goes on and they're like, okay, so that's how you afford to have a theme park. You have to budget.
Yep.
Yes. That's how you have a government. You have to budget.
Hmm. Yeah, you have to figure out all your resources to go into that, and that's the that's the cool thing. Like, I really love your community. Is that even it's like even beyond budgeting, right? Just with, I mean, like with just money, it's like there's other resources. Like, you might need volunteer workers, you might need, what I mean, outside things to also come in. So it's like the broader picture of it all to work together, to accomplish those goals.
Yeah, the saying of build a village, I always felt like that was an overused statement until I became a mom and I started looking for my village. And I always thought that that had to be someone who was like right next door or, physically close to you. And I've learned, oh my goodness,
Oh,
I have friends worldwide now, and that's the beauty of an online space.
yes, I agree with you. And with the it takes a village to raise a child. It I understand your feeling on that one, but especially with these two younger ones, I've really realized and had an eye opener that it's like to allow in a safe place, of course, right? Allow, especially Hunter, is he's a social butterfly and he loves talking to people, especially older people. And I'm totally okay with that. And he goes and he'll talk to them and have all these conversations. And like at the garlic fest that we went to, this lady was like, "Are you comfortable with that?" And I said, "Yeah." It allows him to learn and gather information from different people of different ages. He's going to learn something from that lady or that gentleman that I probably don't know. I mean, so I'm like, that's amazing to be able to allow your children within, of course, safeness to go and socialize and talk to people and pick their brains.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
I mean,
Y'all sit still.
they could say the same thing that you said, but in their way and in their that moment with them. And so they're going to capture your child's interest. You could say, "Oh man, I've told you that a million times." But that person
That is so true.
but someone else is able to say it in a different way that hits different. And I think that opens up learning, and that's the beauty of being able to um, have that community learning.
I agree with you. I agree with you, and I love it.
So, what are you working on this week? What have you got going on?
This week is a big focus. Well, a big focus for me is I have some different projects that we're going to really dive into. We really are learning about garlic and growing garlic, but last year was a definitely learning stage. We've never planted garlic before, and they didn't grow. So we had four little tiny garlics. I mean, like super tiny. And so we're going to do some research and watch some videos about that so we can be more successful this year. We also are drying them out and figuring out how to cure them because we've never done that before. Um, that's our main focus. We're pretty, flexible and go with the flow. Um, as far as business, um, it's kind of, I'm not 100% sure right now. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's okay not to know, and things will spark your creativity, and then you go with that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna keep focusing on some training within the travel. It's so much fun to learn about, though. Why you're like, this offers that? That is amazing. I got to tell everybody. Like with the cruises, that's what I've been training on. It's the different cruises. So yeah. And I was showing Hunter them, and he's like, they're that big. I'm like, yes, cruises are that big.
They're pretty neat. They're pretty
Yeah,
neat.
they're pretty neat. Yeah, so we're working on that. So do you have anything specific this week, or is it pretty open?
We like to keep our weeks open. This week specifically, I've been kind of in my listening phase. So I go through phases of like deep research, deep listening, and deep just informing, kind of like spitting out what I've been learning. And I've realized that I have a lot of people around me who are sharing what they're doing, and so I'm leaning in and I'm listening, and I'm learning. I'm in a big learning phase of, I mean, because, what I'm doing isn't necessarily right or everyone's cup of tea. And so I think it's important to not only let others know that I'm open, but so that I can also understand and share, because down the road I might have someone else who comes to me and says, "This is what I need. This is," and I think it's really, really important, especially as moms, for us to find something that aligns with us.
Oh,
So,
definitely. Definitely. I agree with you on that.
so something that is going to work in our lives and benefit our lives. And I think that's unique for everyone. So it's not a one size fits all. Like
No, definitely not.
we really, I feel like us moms need things that are so tailored to our family and our interests, that are going to be profitable for us, and be able to allow us to live more of the life that we want. If I had a bunch of free dog food, it wouldn't do me very, it wouldn't really help me. I don't have any dogs. So,
Right.
but someone else getting free dog food, that's everything in
It'd be
there.
huge, right?
Yeah. So, I think it's important to lean in and to listen to each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And then it's also, it's like we all are so different and it looks so different. But like you're saying, it is really important as, adults, especially as parents, to have something that they love doing, and it doesn't necessarily need to look what people call. Like when I've said before, oh, do you have any hobbies or any interests that you like? And I get that I don't have time for that. And I'm like, you can't not have time for that. But I think the question was wrong, because a hobby, people feel like that's something that you get to do all by yourself, is my understanding for most people. And I'm like, not necessarily. To me, a hobby is something you're doing out of enjoyment. So I just have to word it differently. But that could be even like a lot of the things I enjoy doing, I do with my children.
Hmm.
And it makes me happy. It doesn't have to necessarily be something you do all by yourself. You could be doing it with your friends, your spouse, your children, it doesn't, but it's something for you, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective. I've never thought of if a hobby is personal or social.
I think it's just, I think it could be either, honestly, you know, because I'm like, even reading can be a hobby. I just have always defined it, I guess, as something that you love to do
Right.
that gives you joy. So I'm learning that maybe hobby is not the best term, but that's okay.
Let's see, what else did we so we wanted to talk about what we're doing for this YouTube series, which is to bring moms a little bit of a glimpse into what we're doing and start
Hmm.
conversations.
Yes, and definitely share about everything in between, parenting, mothering, homeschooling, unschooling, even if you're not homeschooling, just bringing our skills and our talents and answering questions and listening to people, just making those connections.
So, what is something you have in your kitchen right now? What's going on?
I have a caterpillar in my kitchen cocooning.
I was not expecting that.
So my husband was working on the truck the other day and came in and was like, look what I found for you. I know you love this stuff. And I was like, it's a caterpillar. And he's like, it's huge. I bet it's in a cocoon. And so I had one of the net things that you order, and I kept it because I'm like, I can just buy other caterpillars down the road. And I put it in there and it cocooned in less than 24 hours. Oh my goodness. We're so excited.
That's
So we've been watching it.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
What do you have in your kitchen?
Nothing's growing that I know of. Our kids have loved your tortilla recipe. Oh my goodness.
Oh
So
my goodness. They're so good.
I made tortillas twice last week. They asked 4 times. So
What?
Reeves has asked me to promise that I will make more tortillas today.
Oh,
So
fun.
that is.
What kind of fats have you tried?
I tried Crisco
What?
and I wasn't, we had it in our cupboard, and so I was like, might as well. I want to
Yeah.
try bacon grease. That's
Hmm.
what I want. But I don't have
You know
bacon.
what might also, well, what might also be good too, I haven't tried it yet, but I thought about it, is like the beef fat. You
Ooh,
know how I forget what it's called,
yeah,
but you can get it like at butchers and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought, that might be really good, especially if you're making like enchiladas or something.
I
Yeah,
loved butter, just unsalted butter.
there's good. Yeah,
And it's
it's so.
summertime, so it doesn't take long to get it room temperature.
Well, and I can also link the recipe. I'll link that recipe in the comments in case people want to click on that.
It is so
And just
simple.
spread it out.
It is
Oh no,
so,
it's
so
so
simple.
simple.
And when I did it, it was like really the only thing you need is a little bit of time. And
Hmm.
I think that that's so true with so many things. And I'm in a big phase of trying new recipes because I never knew it was so easy to make yogurt. I never knew it was so easy to make tortillas. And so I'm in my phase of trying new things in the kitchen.
Yeah, experimenting, that's so fun. I love it. I figured out my newest thing for is bread. So a couple months ago, I really messed with bread. I never made it because I'm like, it always turns out so dense and dry. And then I figured out a recipe that works really well for sandwich rolls. So I'm like, yes, because that is my goal is to like have, especially all our bread type, tortillas, English muffins, to only make them. Especially when, you go camping last year and then you're like, oh, I left the bagels in the camper and they're not moldy. That's gross. I'm like, no, no, we're not buying bagels anymore. We will make them.
Yeah.
So, and we have made bagels. They're actually pretty easy and they're pretty yummy.
I had a friend send me a bagel recipe yesterday, so that might
Are
be
you
on
gonna
my
try it?
list. I'm not sure yet.
Mm. It's pretty fun. But if you store them in the refrigerator, they last a lot longer.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Bread is one of my favorite things to make because it feels like you're making something out of nothing. Like
Because you kind of are.
I mean, I cook from scratch a lot, but you can't just eat flour. But if you make
Mm-mm.
bread, you can have bread. And you can do
Yeah.
so
Like,
many other
it's just so much.
things.
And it's so fun. And my family gets so excited. They're like, oh, you're making sandwich rolls? Hot bread. I'm like, that is so awesome.
Yeah, my
It's so
kids
awesome.
devoured like as I was making the tortilla. It's kind of like when you're making pancakes. Like as I was making tortillas, they were getting eaten. I'm like, save
Just
some.
eating
We're
them
gonna
up.
have tacos. Like,
Yeah, we definitely made enchiladas out of them, and it was a game changer. Yeah. My kids were
huge
like,
difference.
"Do not
Huge.
buy them from the store anymore." I'm like, fine with me.
Well, and I looked up
Yeah,
yesterday and they
super good.
had a sale on tortillas for I think it was 4.25 and I'm like, okay, so they would pay me 4.25 for my hour of work. I was like, I think that's well worth it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And it's so much fun, especially since you're doing it with the kiddos, Like my kids love doing that stuff. Ava loves to mix everything. So she's having a lot of fun. Hunter's having fun. It's worth the time.
It is. It is.
Definitely worth the time.
Yeah, Willoughby got excited last night about helping me make salads. So get them involved and you'll be surprised. I mean, not many kids are like excited about a salad night, but when they get to help out and they're the ones processing and getting to wash, getting to
It's
cut.
it's fun. It ends up being a lot of fun for them. And it's hands on. It's using all their, all their fine motor skills and all that. It's it's just magical. It is. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Then he's sampling, what was it? The purple onion and taking big old bites of purple
Oh,
onion and going, ah, no reaction.
that is awesome. Oh my goodness. No, no, not Hunter. Hunter's like it has to be cooked or it's just he says it's too strong.
Yeah.
It burns my mouth, Mom. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that what was I gonna say? Oh, we should definitely touch on the hmm, well, because somebody had brought up like they didn't feel like they were capable of homeschooling, and so I kind of think that we should collaborate and maybe talk about that next week.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's, I mean, school time is right around the corner. It's,
Hmm.
yes.
It is. It is. And that is one thing I had a friend tell me, oh, I know summer's almost over, but the end of September is still warm enough to camp. And since I chose to homeschool, I have time and we can take an adventure. And I'm like, yes.
That's my favorite. I love when everyone else goes back to school. That's my signal to go on vacation.
That's yeah, that's when I'm like, yes, let's go, go to the Children's Museum, go to the other museums. It's not packed. We get to just take our time and wander through and really explore and dive into things,
Yes.
So it's yeah. Or even on trails and stuff, they're not as busy. And different seasons brings so many different, aspects of nature, right? What's going on in those seasons that you can explore. And being blessed to be able to, work from home and take them on that, it's amazing because then I don't have any time restraint. And I'm sure you feel that way too. It's like you can be like, okay, we're going to go on a hike today. And I'm going to roll with it because it might be an hour, it might be 4, but it will be okay. And we're going to have a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like, yes.
Yeah. I really love that. It is definitely something that gets in my gratitude journal more than anything else is time freedom.
Hmm. I agree with you. And a lot of people want that. And yeah. And I think it can definitely be figured out. I've actually even met people that homeschool and they do work out of the home. They just have figured out how to make that work. And that's pretty cool too, you know? So yes, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm so glad you're able to jump on here and have coffee with me this morning.
Cheers and have a great week.
You too. Talk to you soon. Bye.